Policing starts with accountability. As the people of policing our own communities, we must be accountable for the things that we allow to happen in our own communities, without the government officials, without the judicial system. If we allow little kids to hang out on the corner in gang activity, gang-ridden communities, where they're selling drugs, where they're doing these things, we are just as guilty. If we allow our community to be strict with people who shooting guns and we're approving these and we clapping and we laughing at these young kids that's doing these things, we're no different than the police that ride by, or we're no different than the police that profile and racial profilers. These same communities in Oakland, we must go back and look at the psychological dynamics of how things have gotten to where they are now. This was a high crime rate city. Drugs was heavy. There are a lot of older people in here. A lot of these people in their younger lives sold a lot of drugs, which reflected if my mother was a drug addict, which means I was a crack baby, which means psychologically I grew up and there's a chemical imbalance there. So there must be some understanding. We're not asking for empathy, nor neither are we asking for sympathy. We're asking for understanding. As the generation that comes that speaks for the kids, we must understand that there are a lot of people from the generation before us that has given up on us. So as we have kids and we if someone gave up on us, it's easy for us to give up on the younger guys. So now we have generations of kids who have no level of understanding. And they're forced to be policed by someone who doesn't understand them. When we look at the government officials in our communities, there's a large percentage of the police officers that aren't even from the city of Oakland. Them not being from the city of Oakland, they don't understand the psychological differences. They don't understand the body languages. They don't understand the language. And we must understand that language is one of the first key rules and essential ingredients to communication. In the community, once communication is removed, now we're lost because we're all trying to gather an understanding from each other. And everyone can get in here and point fingers and blame and all about their jail and their police incidents and the run-ins that they've had with the law. But we must understand until we create a law of the people, without the written law, when we create a law of the people of what's cool and what we're governing by, what we represent, how much of an impact do we play in the community? Right. For block parties that we put on for children, for scholarships that we put on, we can't look for someone else to help us. How do we look for years, and since we've been in America, we've been looking for help.
Come on, man.
In 2017, we're still asking barbarians to be civil. We're asking a police force who was trained in tactical fears to induce fear to rise the level of intimidation so they can seem hierarchy and they can be superior and we be inferior. We're asking them to be civil. The same fight for fighting for civil rights, we're asking you to be civil. We just want you to be a person. Talk to me like I'm a person. The same as the pastor that walks by us that don't speak to us because we sinners. The same as the police officers that don't talk to us because we fit the description. A white man in a jogging suit, he's jogging. A black man, he's robbing. Stereotypes, profiling, and we profile each other. How many people don't we speak to in our community?
Right.
Hello, how you doing, man? We don't even have communication in our own communities. How can we expect to be policed if we're not policing us? For the past 13 years, I've done nothing but community events, backpack giveaways, charity giveaways. There's not no nonprofit. This is just the help of the community.
Right.
The villages, the bike clubs, the people in the community that have heavy influence, the black business owners. When is the last time that we've supported a black business? When is the last time that we've helped each other find out financial literacy? When we've given seminars for those who have made money to teach other people how to do and make money? When have we put on financial literacy seminars? When have we put on community policing seminars? We don't have to wait for City Hall to have a community meeting. We can have our own meeting.
Right.
This isn't for TV. This isn't for the likes and the approvals. And you don't have to like me. But what I represent is a child that was born in 1982, whose dad was a heroin addict who died from AIDS, whose mother was a crackhead who died from cancer. Someone who's come up, a black business owner, who's never been to jail, who's never sold crack cocaine, who's never did any of these things that would be me to be viewed at, to be a rapper, to be a community activist, to be someone who gives out scholarships, all of these other things. Not here trying to advertise my accolades or anything, but taking accountability for my service to the village. In the ways of the village, it's must that we continue to look at each other as one. If you doing bad, then I'm doing bad, because we're part of the same community. There's no bigger me and little you.
Right.
If you are my father, he's my child, and I care about him like he's my child. When Oscar died, I was the first one at the rally. Ask Jack. Because that's my brother. We gotta look at each other like that. We have to look at each other like family instead of distant strangers. Because all a cop is somebody with a job. But when that badge is gone, like the sister said, she wasn't born in a uniform. Right. So why should you look at her different when she throws her uniform on?
Thank you.
We have to look at each other as a people. Right. Separatism. There's been lines, divisional lines. There have been man-made borders that make us kill each other. 40th to the 60th. Berkeley to East Oakland. East Oakland to West Oakland. These are all man-made borders, and now we hate each other because of these segregation. We came into this country segregated. We still are segregating each other. In order for us to make a difference in things like this to mean something, we have to act on change. It's too many problems. We all got a problem. Right. Everybody in here got a problem. But if we throw all our problems on the world, everybody's just gonna try to outdo each other's problem. You're gonna tell a bigger problem than me. Now that becomes problematic. So when we look at problematic situations, the only true emancipation is through a solution. Let's create solutions.
Right,
people.
right.
I'm not here for the headlines. I'm here for the healing.
There you go.
It's a lot of people in here for the headlines.
Right.
Now, whether they did it because it was something that was forced, or whether they did it because it was something by choice, we must understand that the healing is what we need as a people, because we are damaged people. We are scarred people. And as a people, that is the only way that we can perfect our imperfections.